Episode 8 on the digestive system. In this episode, we will highlight another accessory organ of the digestive system, and that is the pancreas. I have briefly mentioned the role of the pancreas in the preceding lecture episode, but we did spend more time talking about the liver and gallbladder and their role, particularly in the production and storage of bile, respectively. Once again, in this episode, now I'm going to turn my attention to the pancreas, which has both exocrine and endocrine functions. Let's look at what that means more specifically on the upcoming slides. As I've mentioned in our preceding lecture episodes, the liver produces bile, the gallbladder stores the bile. However, chemical digestion in the small intestine cannot occur without the help of both the liver and pancreas. The pancreas is responsible for producing enzymes and also bicarbonate-rich pancreatic juices, and it delivers it directly to the small intestine, which is known in particular for both digestion and absorption. As I briefly mentioned in the preceding lecture episode, these pancreatic juices will buffer the acidic gastric juices found in chyme. They will inactivate pepsin from the stomach and also enable the optimal functioning of digestive enzymes in the small intestine. When it comes down to differentiating the exocrine versus endocrine functions of the pancreas, I will first define the exocrine functions of the pancreas. Notably, pancreatic juices, which contain bicarbonate and digestive enzymes, are produced and released by the acinar cells, which are shown on the screen in the enlarged figure. These exocrine cells are known to secrete the pancreatic juices, and this occurs either via an accessory duct directly into the duodenum or the pancreatic duct, which joins with the common bile duct before entering the first segment of the small intestine, the duodenum. As a result, you can think of the exocrine function of the pancreas as playing a key role in the digestive system. I will only briefly mention the endocrine functions of the pancreas. The pancreas has islet cells, which are responsible for secreting hormones. They make up only about 2% of the mass of the pancreas. And these hormones are secreted into the systemic circulation via capillaries that are located close to these pancreatic islet cells. And on the next slide, what you can also see is that the relative location of the pancreas is in close proximity to some of the major structures in the abdomen and play a role in digestion. Notably, it runs from the duodenum behind the stomach to the spleen. And this is illustrated on this diagram. Once again, this diagram further highlights both the exocrine and endocrine functions. The exocrine functions, once again, being the secretion of those digestive enzymes from the acinar cells into the common bile duct, which makes its way into the duodenum of the small intestine. This is highlighted on the left of your diagram. Nonetheless, there are endocrine functions of the pancreas, which are highlighted on this slide as well. The endocrine functions play a direct role in the release of both insulin and glucagon into the systemic circulation. These hormones are known to act in opposition to each other, but or also known as an antagonistic hormone, but they play a role essentially in modulating glucose regulation and the presence of your blood sugar. Now, taking a step back towards our digestive system functions with those digestive enzymes, you may be wondering, well, what type of digestive enzymes can be released? And so we have enzymes that digest starches, and those are known as amylases. We have enzymes that digest emulsified or broken down fats, and those are known as lipases. We also have enzymes that digest proteins and polypeptides known as proteases, typically released as trypsinogen and chymotrypsinogen. We also have enzymes that digest nucleic acids such as DNA and RNA, known as nucleases. Another component, though, when we're talking about the pancreatic juices, once again, are is the sodium bicarbonate that is present. Once again, just to reiterate, sodium bicarbonate helps to neutralize the acidic chyme that enters the duodenum and therefore helps to restore normal pH balance. Given that the pancreas has a series of hormones, but it also has digestive enzymes, you may be wondering, well, why doesn't the pancreas actually self-destruct or break down itself? And so here is kind of a unique story that suggests why the pancreas does not auto-digest. So notably, when we're talking about proteases, so trypsinogen as an example, these are produced and released in an inactive form. There is a trypsin inhibitor that is also found in the pancreas that prevents autodigestion, thereby preventing the conversion of trypsinogen to trypsin. There is also an enzyme produced by the intestinal mucosal cells known as enterokinase that can activate proteases once they are released into the duodenum. So once again, only after these pancreatic juices have been released into the duodenum containing your digestive enzymes is the light switch turned on such that the proteases become active and play a role in the small intestine. In the pancreas itself, these enzymes will remain inactive. And lastly, just to highlight there is a proton pump, also known as ATPase type pump, which secretes hydrochloric acid, which you can see at the level of the parietal cells, into the gastric lumen. This reduces the pH and hydrochloric acid is known to denature proteins, which further aids in chemical digestion. When you have the activation of an inactive pepsinogen into pepsin, the activated form of pepsin is an enzyme which can break down proteins as well. These processes are occurring within the gastric glands.